What's up, everybody? I'm back again. It's Dreas. There wasn't any video last week, but we're gonna jump right back into it this week. So this week we're talking about how to stop chasing and start getting peace. Again, so jump straight into it. The first point is to let go so God can move. Psalms 127 verse 1 says, "Unless the Lord builds a house, they who build it labor in vain. Unless the Lord guards a city, the watchman stays awake in vain." So one main thing that I've been hearing recently is if you keep your hand clutched, you're not giving God the room to put something new in it. You're holding on to that old thing, and you're holding on to the things that weren't even planned for you in the first place, and God can't put something new in it because you're keeping your fist clutched. And it says here, unless the Lord builds something, unless the Lord does it, then it's in vain. So I wrote down a couple of things here, like letting go of emotional attachments, closing doors. Don't leave any doors open, because that will lead to the enemy attacking you. Choosing peace over familiar spirits. It's easy to run right back to familiar things, but don't do it. Jumping straight into the second point, God isn't delaying you, He's preparing you. Verse I have here is Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. So basically what it's saying here is God's timing is perfect. There's a time for everything, and He put the time for everything. You know, we don't choose when the things that we want to happen come, whenever His blessings come. But I understand that it could feel frustrating, and it feels frustrating most times because we're too focused on the end result, which is the actual blessing, rather than the preparation that He's putting us through to get to the blessing. I think one thing that really matters when it comes to the preparation is emotional readiness. If you obtain something too early and you're not ready for it emotionally, you'll collapse and you won't know how to keep it. It doesn't matter if it's a job, a business, or a relationship. Whatever it is, a lot of times, if you're not ready to hold it without collapsing, you'll lose it or you'll destroy it. A lot of times, God is working behind the scenes even when you don't see it. God is working on things that aren't in your sight. You know, it feels like, God is telling you, like, yeah, He's doing something right now. It's like, He's doing something. At the same time, you're like, is He doing something? I don't see anything happening. Like, it's like you're looking for signs, you're looking for this and that, but like, you don't see anything actually coming about. But God is working behind the scenes. He's working in the places you can't see, places that you'll never expect. And that's where the greatest things come from, the places that you haven't even seen yet. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 9 says, "No eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no mind has imagined the things that God has prepared for those who love Him." So that's something to really keep in mind. All right, so jumping straight into point 3, why you keep getting distracted. So I remember speaking about this in the last video, and actually use the same verse too. The verse is 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 8. "Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour." It's basically like the same thing, but it fits all into this. So basically, there's distractions, like emotional distractions, like we were just talking about emotions with the last point. That could be situationships or, relationships, friendships. It could be something you're connected to emotionally. It could be a distraction like TikTok or Instagram. Like for me, one thing I do a lot is like I'll be scrolling on IG. I had to start putting a time limit on my IG and my, TikTok and stuff, like doom scrolling and stuff. And another important thing, especially for like the relationship side of things or people, is wanting love in like company more than building discipline. That will keep you distracted and it'll keep you far from where you're supposed to be too. So yeah, jumping into point 4, what I learned after cutting people off. I will say you don't have to cut everybody off, but for the people that you do have to cut off, it's usually because they're not respecting the boundaries, or you just need to respect yourself in a way because you know that they can't really come with you to the next step, or maybe God is telling you this person is just not meant for you to come to the next season. Maybe you're growing emotionally you're becoming more emotionally mature, and there's people around you who are trying to bring you back down, or there's people around you who you used to hang around who aren't on that level, who, like I said, they try to bring you down basically, because there's going to be people who aren't as emotionally mature as you, who are still going to be great friends, who are still going to be around, and it's not anything wrong with that. But it's the people who try to bring you down when they see you growing. Those are the people you are going to have to cut off. Or there's going to be people who maybe don't even try to bring you down, but they do in a way with their like immaturity. And it's not a pride thing, it's more they do things, or they say things, or they try to influence you in a way to bring you back down, whether it's intentional or not. Those are people you're gonna have to cut off. And the question is if you're willing to, because a lot of times when you gotta cut somebody off. Everybody can't come with you to the new season, because what God has for you, they wouldn't be able to help you sustain it. And not only would they not be able to help you sustain it, but they would actually be bringing you to destroying it or losing it. So you're gonna have to cut some people off, like I said before. Point 5 kind of connects to the last point. You aren't just holding on to them, you're holding on to that version of you that met them. The verse I brought for this point was 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14. Do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. We all know that verse. I'm not saying to cut off every unbeliever. You shouldn't have the same dynamic with unbelievers anymore, basically. Like, you shouldn't be doing the same things that you were doing before. Basically, you shouldn't be unequally yoked. Like, that's the best way to put it. You just shouldn't be unequally yoked. A lot of times, what's difficult about cutting these people off, though, like I said, it goes back into the last point, is trying to differentiate familiarity versus love. There's a lot of people who love you. They love seeing you grow. They love seeing you grow. You love seeing them grow. That have a healthy bond. And then there's people who you're just familiar with. Like, you've been seeing them for a long time. They've been around for a long time. They've been your friend for a long time. Y'all been together for a long time. Like I said, it could be a person, it could be a thing. Like, it really doesn't matter. Basically, what I'm saying is there's a difference between just falling back into what you're familiar with and growing with what you love. And even with some things that you're familiar with, sometimes letting go is still painful, because it's like, it could be something that you're really connected to. And it hurts a lot of times. It could be a spirit. A lot of times when people talk about familiarity, they're talking about familiar spirits, things that attach to them. And it's like, it's almost like you find like comfort in it. And I'm saying you, but I'm including myself in that. It's like finding comfort in something that you're familiar with, but it's not right for you, or it's not supposed to come with you into the next season. And you gotta have more love for God than you have for the thing that you're familiar with. And what I realized is, after letting go of certain people and certain things, you end up feeling more peace after you let it go. And the peace, it like may feel strange at first, but that's because it's like, you just let go of something that you were familiar with. It's like you feel that pain, but it's like at the same time, it's like, well, I did what was right. So it's like you just feel peace in that, knowing that you did what God is leading you to do. And the last thing is, you start outgrowing your old season. Some signs of like outgrowing your old season is like feeling disconnected from old friends, like I said before. You start desiring more. God starts putting more things on your heart. You start wanting depth instead of chaos. You don't want confusion anymore. You want peace instead of drama. You stop feeding into foolish things. You start really feeling that peace. You start really like staying away from chaos and drama, and you start looking for deep love and relationships and connections instead of what's familiar, like we've just been talking about this whole video. If you start seeing these things appear in your life, it's most likely because you're outgrowing your old season. Not most likely, it's because you started outgrowing the old things. And that means, to me, I think that means you're really close to where God is bringing you. Because it's like, for me, I've been in like this in between. I'm in between my old season and my new season. I don't necessarily know what the new season is yet. but I know that the in between, God has been working on me, and I've been seeing the difference. Like, I remember praying to God, I was like, God, I'm ready for you to move me forward. And I start seeing the different things changing in my life. He starts putting things on my heart. He starts telling me things when I'm praying. And, basically the things on this list. But as I've been growing, there's just been boxes being checked off. Like, he's preparing me. He's done this, and that. It's like, all right, I think I'm like this close to the new season. I think it's crazy too, because I actually go back to college on Monday. So I think maybe there's something coming this semester. Well, definitely the semester is like 5 months, and I know there's something coming soon. But yeah, if this video spoke to you, comment I'm in a new season. I did that last video, so I got to try to run it back again. But I have a few updates for you guys. I put my shops in the link in the last video, but the links didn't work, and they didn't even pop up actually when I posted the video. So this time I'm going to try to put it in the pinned comment under the video. Again, I don't remember if I said all the shops from that I'm actually selling on, but I sell like clothing, Christian apparel. I have my own brand, but I sell like different things with different slogans on it, just different stuff that people might like. But the shops I sell on are Etsy, eBay, TikTok shop. I've been thinking of either starting a music channel, like for playing music, my piano, my guitar, making beats, but I don't know if I should do that or if I should just post on here. But I think I should keep them separate, so I might just do that, just keep them separate. And I'm not sure if this video is gonna have a different editing style. I mean, if so, I'll just put something after this. But if not, I've been thinking of using a different editing style soon, so we'll see about that too. But this video I'll be posting on Saturday. Today is Friday, so yeah, I'll be posting this on Saturday, which is tomorrow. I thank you all for the support. I hope you guys have a good Saturday, or whenever you're watching, a good weekend, good week. I hope you guys are doing well. And for all my college friends, blessings on your studies, blessings going into this new semester. And for everybody else watching, hope you guys are all doing good, and I hope you guys have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next video.